You mentioned that you feel you've had a really strong market. Phil's here on a day-to-day basis. I have a wider perspective, and the first thing I would think when I hear about Leeds' market is that two of your best players, Kalvin Phillips and Raphinha, were sold. And most clubs would want and do everything they can to keep their best players.
Yeah.
The team came close to relegation with them in the squad. Kalvin was injured a lot of the time. Do you feel that it weakens Leeds United to have sold those two star players?
Good question. I think no. I think we are better. We have lost 2 champions, 2 big players, but we got 6 good players. And I think the team needed more solidity, needed more option, and needed a bigger squad. So 6 good players, in my opinion, make a difference rather than 2 big players. I might be wrong, but this is my conviction, and I think the pitch will show it. Also, I would like to summarize what we have done in these 3 campaigns of Premier League on the market. We have invested over £260 million, and I think we are among the top clubs in terms of investment in players. This year we invested about 105, which is just below Manchester City, and is probably the 6th in the list for what I saw recently. I mean, the market is still open, so might change, but this is what happened. And it's the first year in the Premier League we are selling players. So we did 3 years without selling any player, and in the 2 years before we invested 160 million. So I think the club has committed a lot, even over the capacity and the resources of the club itself. So which means that we need to manage to make it sustainable. We need to manage and become a destination for players, but in the meantime also be used to sell sometime one of the best players and have another transaction, another new player coming up. That's why we are focusing on investing in youth. We have just announced yesterday 5 years contract for Geoffrey Gellar, Somerville and Greenwood. We have signed Sonny Perkins from West Ham. So we bought another talent from Spain last year. So we have a very good youth academy developing talent, and this has to be mixed with the transition and also some player coming in here as a destination. Like what I feel now, I think these 2 deals, Raphinha and Phillips, are important not only to give us the opportunity to buy 6, but also to be perceived from the other talent player as a destination before to go to a big club. And that's what we need to be now, I think. I mean, the fact that you can come here, play 2-3 years, and go to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Manchester City, for me is a pride. In this moment, we need to be realistic. We cannot be at that level. It will be wrong to put the players in a cage when they have the talent. I mean, Raphinha is a special player. So honestly, I think with a good World Cup can become one of the top 20 players in the world. So why keep him in the cage?
I guess 2 questions that arise out of that. The first is, in the 2 Premier League seasons, do you think the recruitment has worked well enough? The individual players that you've spent on, has that worked well enough? And also, when it comes to buying players who use Leeds as a stepping stone, is there only a certain amount of time in which the supporters will be able to tolerate, I guess, seeing the best players moving on?
Over the time, I think we will have to be more... we need to be better and keeping the players, some players. So this is not forever strategy. So over the time, I think we will be able to keep some of the best players and make them lifetime elites. Honestly, for Kalvin Phillips, for example, is a different situation than Raphinha. Kalvin Phillips could stay here all his life and become the next captain. I didn't want to let him go. He decided to go, and it was very clear to me that it was his ambition to play at that level and to go, and we let him go. But it was a very friendly conversation, but it wasn't our desire. With Raphinha, it was different. It was more a sacrifice to buy the players we need to reinforce the squad. Because we cannot do another 3 years, spend another 100 million and not have income. The club will collapse. So, but over the time, I think in medium, long term, we will be able to maintain some of the talent. We don't want to sell all our talent every time. We need to have a good model. I always said the model for me, the best model in the past, I've said many times, is Leicester model. So I think we need to be realistic and in our possibility try to build, but at the same time, sometimes we need to let go someone and bring other new players. It's not a shame. It's just a phase of the club. Obviously, to maintain the best player and continue to grow, we need to be supported financially, and we need to structure the team and the club differently, which means also it's linked to the development of the stadium, which is another important area of growth. So our club now is around 205, 210 million revenue. If we develop the stadium to 55,000 people attendance, we could probably reach 260, 270, which will become probably the 8 or to 10 club in the league in terms of revenue. So we have the infrastructure, the city, the fans to make this club in the top 10, I think. We need to work and maintain and have a steady growth step by step to be sustainable and to be healthy as a club, as a company. It's possible, yes, but it takes time and takes investment and a right decision. Sometimes we do mistake. I mean, when you mention about the market, you're right. I mean, but I don't think there is no club that nail or every single player they purchase. Impossible. I think we should put a line after 3-5 years and see how many players were successful, how many not, was the performance, and then find a judgment around a period of time. Because we have cases where maybe the performance has not been at the level of the investment, and we have other cases the opposite. Ilan Meslier is a fantastic example. Pascal Stoic is a fantastic example. So we need to have always a judgment overall. We can judge all single individual deal.
No, that seems fair. On Raphinha, we've run a long article this morning about the basket case that is Barcelona at the moment. Can you give us any insight into what completing that deal was like? Because it sounded incredibly complex and incredibly difficult.
Yes. As you read, Barcelona wasn't in a clear situation to buy player, but they were shopping around, but they were not able to confirm the deals because their situation was not clear financially. So they were very active everywhere with many players in Europe, not only Raphinha, Lewandowski and many others, trying to hold the players while they were trying to fix their own problems. And this created a lot of confusion in the market, because not having a proper negotiation with the club as supposed to be, because normally the rules is club deal with the club, not with the player. So we couldn't deal with Barcelona because they were not in the position to deal, and we made a deal with Chelsea. Because the player wanted to go, and he was open to listen to offer from Premier League clubs, and Chelsea was in his favorable position. But unfortunately, then the player, let's say probably Barcelona influence and lobby, convinced the player that to wait until they would find a solution. And this unfortunately show again the power that and the leverage the players and their agent have in the system, which is, I think, for me, exaggerated. It's too much. We do a lot of investment to build clubs. We invest hundreds of millions, but all the power seems to be on agents and representatives of these players.
That's interesting. Would you rather have preferred to have done the deal with Chelsea?
For me, it was done, the deal with Chelsea. When I have a deal, my word is a word, and I felt ashamed to go back to Todd Bowley, the owner of Chelsea, and change the position. It was really, for me, disrespectful and not the right thing to do. But I didn't have a choice, and if I could decide to don't sell the player, I would rather prefer that. But I didn't have a choice, because for us it was more important to buy 6 players than keep Raphinha.
And you also had Arsenal pushing. There was some vague interest from Tottenham as well.
Yeah. We had honestly we had interest from Tottenham, from Arsenal, from Chelsea. and Barcelona. So all of these clubs, and the best deal and the deal we agree was with Chelsea. At the end, the deal we came up with Barcelona is pretty much the same for the way we structure at the very end. But it took time. It was hard. We had to manage well. And as I said, I would rather don't sell it than, but I didn't have a choice because we need to buy 6 players.
I'm sorry, but have you ever experienced something like Barcelona and what's happening there? I've never seen it in my career.
No, I don't know the behind the scene and how they suddenly found the money and how it works. What is, I don't know. It's not clear.
Are you confident that you'll get the money from them? That has been one of the big questions through the summer. You know, can they pay for these players?
Look, I tell you the 2nd of September. If not, we will have a global case on all the media in the world about Barcelona. So I don't know.
You wanted Charles De Ketelaere. That wasn't a secret. You haven't got De Ketelaere. He's gone to AC Milan.
First of all, I want to say that Victor Horta, the team behind him, and Jesse and myself, we have done a fantastic job because out of 6 targets, we got 5 in only 2 weeks. So before going to Australia, we had 5 targets completed. And I don't see any club in Europe that have completed 5 targets in such a short period of time. So we were clear, we moved fast, and we closed the deals. The only one that unfortunately we did everything perfect, including the agreement with Bruges. So we had the deal with the club, but not with the player. It was the Charles De Ketelaere. It was our icing on the cake. It was our plus and special player. And unfortunately, we didn't make it. So good luck to him. But honestly, we also were competing with AC Milan, and I mean they won the title. They are in Champions League. The fact that he was watching our documentary, he was 50-50 doubtful about Milan or Leeds for a period of time already make me really proud that we are in the right direction, but it wasn't enough. Next time we need to do better. It
shows how far you've come. It's also probably painful for you to lose him to the city where you live.
To be honest, I have one regret that I should have gone maybe 10 days before to Belgium to close the deal, and we had the period of time that I knew that Milan was sleeping because of the change of ownership, and I hesitate maybe a week or 10 days more that I should have done a little bit earlier.
Interesting. There'll be many supporters of Leeds United watching this saying, who we're going to get next? Are we still active in the market? Will more players come in before the deadline? Will some players go? We see rumours about Jack Harrison.
Look, we are happy at this moment how the squad is. I have a lot of confidence in Geoffrey Gellard, together with Patrick Bamford, coming back this season. So I'm really relaxed about the team and confident we do well. But we are actively monitoring and discussing with Jesse and Victor. We still looking at opportunity for an offensive player. Could be a number 9, could be a number 9, 10. We don't know yet. Exactly depends on the profile. And also left back because of the injury with Junior, but anyways coming back soon. We are monitoring, but we don't have to do a deal at any cost. So we are active, but Charles De Ketelaere was a special player. So we were all in agreement to make a big effort. We offered 40 million euro, and we agreed with Bruges 40 million euro. So it was an important investment for the future of the club. For the other player, unless we are really convinced 100% that we improve, if not, we don't move.